Welcome to ISE's Equity Index Weekly Outlook, a weekly outlook on ISE and other industry indexes, hosted by Patrick Ceresna, a derivative market specialist and investment manager with extensive expertise in options and the broader derivative markets. ISE trades options on more than 15 proprietary sector indexes, as well as broad-based indexes and a variety of licensed benchmarks. ISE continually enhances its trading systems and develops new index options products to provide investors with the best marketplace and investment tools to trade smarter.
Hello and welcome to the ISE Equity Index Outlook for December 21st, 2008. This is your host, Patrick Ceresna. First off, we're going to have a look at the S&P 500 SPDR, symbol SPY, and we had a pretty optimistic outlook on this over the last couple of weeks, trying to anticipate a year-end rally on the upside, and again this week we got rejected at that 90-92 focal point, and it's becoming evident that there's little to no upside momentum, and some people are looking at this optimistically, but at this stage we are seeing a loss of momentum on the upside in what is a rising wedge formation, which immediately at this stage is starting to put up some red flags for us in terms of watching a reversal. The key thing is that the next couple of weeks will be very little to no trading, and therefore most likely will be range bound. But come January, when we're back in action, it may actually have a negative resolution on the downside. So we'll watch it over the next few weeks how this develops, but we're starting to see those red flags. Next here we have the ISE U.S. Regional Bank Index, symbol JLO, and more or less the regional banks continue to be bouncing off that 2021 focal point on the downside with a continued loss of momentum. And if we do have that broader market rollover, it certainly looks like these regional banks will be leading the way as they have absolutely little to no strength on the upside. So at this stage, any breakdown below the 2021 focal point becomes a negative for this market. Next, we're going to have a look at the ISE Syndex, which is an index of distillers, tobacco, and casino companies, symbol SIN. And more or less, last week we talked about the little flag formation, which should have follow through on the upside, and we were targeting an area just above the focal point, which is about the 70 to 73 area. And right now we're in the middle of that zone, and even though we've seen that move and break above that area, at this stage there's little to no upside follow through, and we are also, just like in the broader market, tracking that rising wedge formation. So right now the key thing that we want to track here is that if we do hold above that 70 area, we may have that push and test right into that 75, 77, but anything that rolls over right here would be a loss of momentum on the upside, and a break below that 68 on the downside means that we may immediately come retracing back to that 60, 62 on the downside. Next, we're going to have a look at the ISE Home Builders Index, which is a symbol RUF, and at this stage we again had a little bit of follow through on the upside, coming back to retest that 875, 925 zone on the upside. And at this stage, again, we're seeing a little bit of a loss of momentum in what is a rising wedge formation, and this is forming in a lot of different indices. And this is why the red flags are coming up for us. And really at this stage, with losing a little bit of upside momentum, it certainly will lose even further momentum during this holiday season. And really at that stage, any breaks of those wedge formations on the downside come the new year may see us coming back to retest down in the lower levels. So let's just see how this plays out in the next week. Next, when we have a look at the ISE Natural Gas Index, symbol FUM, we also continue to see rejections of the prices in the 75-80 focal point that we've been identifying. And really, at this stage, to confirm a double bottom down in that 60-62 area, we needed to see that follow through on the upside above 80. So really, at this point, again, we're looking at range-bound markets with little to no upside momentum. And the biggest problem with markets like this is that they tend to fall under their own weight, and so if we see little to no upside confirmation, then most likely will resolve itself with retesting down in the 60-62 area, if not a breakdown that takes it all the way down to our 50-52 downside target. Finally, I want to have a look at the ISE Mini FTSE 100 Index, symbol UKX, and more or less this continues to consolidate at or above the 420 to 430 focal point we've been identifying, and we're also seeing a very similar pattern in these global indices, the same as we are in the S&P, which is these rising wedge formations that may have a resolution on the downside, and we are starting to see those divergences in the momentum. So really at this stage, any break below 420 on the downside here, especially in the new year, reopens the window for retesting back down at the lows. So it's important for us to watch whether these support levels hold or whether in fact it makes that push back up to that 455, 465 area on the upside. Thank you for joining me for the ISE Equity Index Outlook for December 21st, 2008. Please join us next week for an update to see how the markets have played out. Thank you.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. For more information about Patrick Ceresna and to sign up for free index options trade alerts, visit www.optionsource.net. To learn more about ISE index options, visit us at www.ise.com/indexoptions.